Hey everybody, Brett from AstartesGaming here, back with another episode of our Kingdom Come Deliverance Let's Play. So, in the last episode, we found out what was going on in Sasau, particularly in the church, and Henry is still undercover, trying to infiltrate this new group of bandits that have set up somewhere in the Sasau area. So, before we leave Sasau, there was a young man here, set to enter the monastery, and we know from what we found out in the last episode that the monastery is playing a role in this conspiracy in some way, and we also know that there is a member of the bandits there who we've been sent to kill. So whether or not we actually kill him will be another question, but for sure we need to get into the monastery. So to that end, there is a young man here somewhere, though it is still a bit early, that we need to talk to because he can help us secure entrance to the monastery. Alright, so the weather's taken a real turn for the worse, but the person we're looking for has finally made their way down to the tavern, so let's have a word with him.
At this rate, you won't remember anything. And it's not a prison, it's a monastery.
Well, it's a prison in all but name. God save you. What can I do for you?
Are you Carl by any chance?
I am. Why do you ask?
I've heard that you're bound for the monastery.
Yes, it's true. But I've convinced my faithful guardian, Manfred, to give me a few more days of freedom. Mind you, he won't let me visit the brothel, so instead I'm devoting those days to the demon drink. With whom do I have the honor of speaking?
My name is Henry.
Pleased to meet you, Henry.
Could we speak in private? I have some, issues with the monastery.
Really? Well, I'd love to talk about it, but we won't have privacy as long as Manfred here has his head permanently stuck up my arse. Get rid of him for me, please. See you later.
Okay, there's a few ways we could be rid of Manfred. We could talk to the tavern brawler over there. Maybe tell him a few things and see if he can distract Manfred for us. Or we could see if we can just get Manfred really, really drunk.
You know you shouldn't drink so much. God grant you health. How may I help you?
You're Manfred, the young lord's guardian?
Indeed I am. Why?
You must have a mighty thirst. Waiting here with him for days, just watching him get drunk, and not having a sip yourself.
There's no doubt I'd enjoy a drink. Heaven knows I deserve it. But if I dull my senses in the slightest, that rogue will surely get up to mischief.
So let's drink together. And if you start to feel unwell, I'll keep an eye on him. Like you said, you deserve some fun.
I can see you're a reliable lad. So what shall we have to drink? And while we're at it, why not have a little game?
Okay, apparently we're playing dice. I forget what all my different dice do. So I'll take some lucky dice, I guess. What's the strip die? Oh, right, we won that beating the bath maid with Sir Hans. That one's really well loaded. How many dice do I get again? Like 6? Unpopular. No. Shrinking. Yeah, we'll grab that one. Demonic dice. I don't know if that's going to help me. Falling on a 3 is not going to help me. 1s and 5s would be ideal. Another demonic dice. Another demonic dice. Apparently that one's not very well loaded. Let's do the devil's head. That one's kind of cool. All right.
You're a brave soul taking me on.
So every dice that we've brought is a loaded dice. Right. Let's hold the 1 and roll again. Hopefully we do a little bit better this time. Oh, yeah. Wow. We can score pretty much all of that. So we'll take the 3 1s, which is 1,000 points, and we'll take the 5, which is another 50. We'll definitely pass on that because there's no point in re-rolling a single dice. We would never, succeed. So yeah, let's keep that score. That's pretty solid. Okay, he's gonna hold a 5 and re-roll. Fair enough. Let's see what he can string together. He'll probably hold the 1 and re-roll. So 150 so far. Can he do better? Another 1. Is he gonna stick with 250? No, he's gonna roll again. It's getting a little bit risky there.
Now
He
I'm
busted,
for the
yeah.
job.
Can't say I'm surprised. With only 3 dice, there's a pretty slim chance that you're gonna pull anything off. So we can hold these 3 5s for 500, and then the 2 1s for another 200. Interesting. I thought those would be 100 each, but apparently that's worth 500. Why is that worth... That's weird. So when I score this one... Oh, it's the devil's head? I don't know what that means. Like, I don't understand why this one is worth 100 points like it should be, and this is worth 500 points. I mean, I'm not going to complain. I'll take it. So we'll go ahead and pass. But I'm not sure why that was. Okay. It's going to hold it and roll again. He's still yet to get on the board here, so he probably will be a little bit more conservative on this one, but I don't know. He's not doing particularly well.
That's it.
3 dice left. And he got real lucky there.
This'll be the one.
Wow. Rolling with 2 dice. And he
God's
busts
holy
again.
hat.
Are we going to completely clean sweep this guy with no points on the board? It looks like it. I can score 1,000 right here. And we'll take the 5 just for, you know, posterity, I guess. So, there's our victory.
Enough. I'm done with this. I've had enough.
And you said you wouldn't drink today.
Silence. I'm going to sleep.
How much longer must I
Here's
wait?
a few coins. Have fun. Tomorrow, we're going to the monastery. Is that clear?
Couldn't you give me more? This isn't even enough for a toothless whore.
Set up for
I'll
beer.
bring it right
Good
away.
night.
Okay, well, he's drunk and off to bed, apparently. So,
Yeah, give me a minute.
let's let him kind of stagger outside, and then we'll talk to Carl again. Go on. Get out there.
Manfred's taken care of, just as you wanted.
Thank God. He won't let me out of his sight for a second, and he's itching to get me in the monastery so he can head back home.
Why does your guardian never leave your side?
So I don't run away. Of course, I'm free to walk around, but he watches every step I take and won't stop until I'm behind the monastery walls.
Well, he's not watching you now.
What good is that to me when he has all the money, and even my saddle and riding cloak under lock and key?
Why are you being sent to the monastery?
Like every lusty young lad, I'm fond of fair maidens, but I got too fond of one, and let's just say she was, indisposed for 9 months.
But they don't send you to the monastery for that.
They do, when it's the daughter of the Lord of your fief.
Shit.
Shit is putting it mildly. The Lord of Bookover was less than pleased. He knows he'll never marry off his daughter now, so he gave father a choice. Either pay him 1,000 groschen in compensation, along with my balls on a silver platter, or pay 1,000 groschen and put me away somewhere no one will ever see me again.
What if I entered the monastery instead of you?
What? Voluntarily? You don't look like someone who'd want to spend the rest of his days on his knees praying. But that's your problem. You can only enter the monastery if you know how to read and write, and if you have a special writ from the abbot. That's a letter confirming they know who you are and that they've accepted you.
So you give me your writ. I'll just tell them I'm you.
Manfred has the writ. You'd have to take it from him, but he only puts it down when he sleeps.
So I'll steal it and then you can disappear.
Disappear? Bare-arsed? What the hell would I do? I don't know how to work, I have no money, and that old bastard's even taken my cloak. He has me in the palm of his hand.
But there are poor people everywhere and they get by somehow.
If I have to choose between hunger and poverty on one hand and the monastic life on the other, I'm afraid the monastery wins. If I could only steal that old man's pouch, I'd be gone faster than lightning and no one would ever see me again.
Okay, so our next step is pretty clear. We need to go collect the goods off of Manfred while he's drunk and passed out, so let's go do that. Alright, so entering his room, it looks like he's just left the door open. That's convenient. Let's close this so nobody else wanders in here. And we could pickpocket the stuff off of him, but I don't like taking chances. So I am going to make sure he doesn't wake up. Somebody is talking. Anyway, that should keep him out for a little while longer. I'll take the writ from myself. We'll grab the purse. And I could steal his clothes, but that seems uncalled for. I don't really have any need of them, so we'll just leave it be. Is there anything in their chest, though? No, not really. Just some more clothes. You know what? I will take those fancy shirts. Some of this stuff is worth decent money. I'll grab it. And that is apparently everything we need. Close the door and nobody will be any the wiser. He won't know. He was passed out drunk and he'll wake up with a headache, I'm sure, but he won't know if it was from us or from the alcohol. And he probably won't remember anyways.
I've got what you need.
Excellent. Give me the purse. You can do as you like with the writ.
Here you are.
Good luck, no matter what you plan on doing with those monks. Best be on your way now before Manfred finds out that he's been robbed.
And what are you going to do?
Get my things together and disappear. I want to be as far away as possible before that old man even knows I'm gone. Take care.
Okay. So, we've got the writ that we need to get into the monastery. They said before that he was going to take a few more days before entering, so I don't think the monastery will be expecting us for another couple days. Therefore, we have some time to catch up on other affairs before we head to the monastery. So we'll be leaving Sasau for a little bit, and I might check in on Pribyslavitz to see how our new recruits are faring. We might build a little bit, and then we can return to Ratai and see if there's anybody else willing to join us at Pribyslavitz. So I suppose I'll see you guys there. Alright, here we are back in town. On my way here I got shot in the back by a cumin, but I didn't feel like stopping and fighting them, so I just popped a potion and I'm waiting for it to get my HP back to full, but otherwise we're okay. So I'm going to pop into the trader and see if Cornelius has made it here yet. And yeah, sure enough, there he is.
How's it going?
How do you like it here?
I won't lie, it's a shithole. And it's been a shithole most of my life. But we'll do something about that, right? And if you ever want someone to take over your bailiffing duties, let me know.
Okay. Easy enough. Oh, you got a guy hanging out back here, I guess. Is he the old trader, maybe? Like, did we just replace you? I feel like if you're gonna hang out, we need to get you some armor and make you like the guard. Alright, well, let's close up shop here. And we can go see if Kunesh is here as well. He's going to be down the road a little bit, though, because he's at the woodcutter's place. So let's try him. I think it's this road, more or less. I know it's vaguely over here. Alright, Kunesh, there you are.
Well, Kunesh, how are you getting on here in the village?
Village, you call it? It's an armpit. But at least no one's bothering me here. Not until now, anyway.
Okay, well, yeah, fair enough. It still has a lot of work that needs to be done, but it's what we're doing. It's the whole point, so let's go do some work. Alright, so looking at the ledger, I think the next thing I want to build in our village is the tavern. Tavern is kind of where everybody meets at the end of the day, and so I think it's very important for the community in a village. And also, it'll make us a nice little bit of money. So this is something I definitely like to do. However, we need 2 different resources in order to make this happen. We need stone and we need grain. So we're going to have to go source those before we can build this. Is there any other resources that we still need while we're out? Because we could try to source them all, though we would be paying for stuff we potentially didn't need. Nope, those are all done. That's done. So stone and grain. We need a tavern to build the guardhouse, but that's something we can do later. We need grain for stables. Probably won't build those. So livestock would be the last one. Okay. I guess we can look for livestock too, but I'm not in a hurry to build the butchers necessarily. It's not going to generate us that much money. Though it can generate us more once we get a butcher in place. Like the proper butcher character, not just the facility. So they'll add a little bit more to it. I think it's like an extra 200 groschen per day or whatever, but the tavern's going to net us a lot more money, especially with the people that we can put in there. So the tavern is my priority. I'd also like to upgrade our forge to an armor smith, because I think the character I want to bring in only works if it's an armor smith. Also, the only real difference is whether you get the unique sword or the unique shield. I don't really care, if I'm being honest, so I'm going to go with the one that allows me to choose the character I want. That's going to add a little bit more money per day as well, so that's nice. But ultimately not something that we necessarily need to hurry and do. We could do it right now though, and it will add 250 per day, so I guess it's worth it. Let's do that. We'll head out and try to source those materials, and then we'll come back and build some more stuff. Don't go anywhere, Marius. I need you. Marius. I'm going to totally steal his shirt, by the way. When we don't need him anymore. I'm not going to kill him, but I want that shirt. Maybe the hat as well.
I want to build something.
Certainly, Master Bailiff. What's it to be?
An armourer will always find custom and won't go hungry. We should have one here too.
Good. We've got everything. Come along with me to the site where we'll be building.
Okay, so we're standing outside the forge right now. I'm curious to see if this is going to change in any way, or if it's just going to be the same thing, but with a little bit more income. Because I don't know where they could really add stuff on. I guess out here? You could fit some stuff out there. Probably not going to expand this way, because you'd be running into the... I like that staircase. That's pretty nice, actually. You'd be running into the little creek here. Oops, the one I just fell into. So, it looks like really only that way, or my guess is probably not at all. But we'll see. Alright, so let's have a look around. Things have changed a little bit, but the ultimate layout is virtually the same. So there's no longer a forge here. There's just a bunch of armor fitting stations, I guess. You can see all the little bits and pieces just kind of thrown around. That's sort of a anvil, I guess. I think it's for beating out like shapes like this. So you use it to form a shield or like a kettle helm. It looks like they're working punches over here. Yeah, something like that. Then if we go inside... Trespassing? What do you mean trespassing? This is the shield that you can get, by the way. So that's the heraldry for the village, is that blue boar head on like a black background. I'm going to try, I don't know if this is even possible, but I want to see if I can refit all the guards to be wearing those colors. But again, I don't know if I'll be able to do it. So they don't actually have a forge here anymore. That's kind of weird, actually. I feel like that's a little bit of an oversight. Where are they getting this metal? Exactly. Okay, now I can go inside. Apparently I can only enter when he's present. Or the other guys. I can't steal any of this, by the way. Can't interact with it. Oh, yes I can. Cool. I just wasn't close enough, I guess. So yeah, all this stuff you can interact with, just like in the other... Ooh, we're selling cumin gear too?
You're up to no good.
Interesting. Well, just like the other armor shops, you can actually interact with this stuff and take it if you want. I'm not going to steal from my own village, though. That just doesn't seem right. So the next thing we need to do is go collect an actual armorer to work here. Now, we sort of set ourselves up for this with an earlier quest by getting sort of mixed up with the different armorers in Sasau. I can't get up this slope. Right, so with those little performance hiccups out of the way, as I was saying, we did set ourselves up for an armorer in earlier episodes where we got mixed up with the Sasau armorers. And so we decided to side with, God, I don't remember his name, but not Ota, the other one who is trying to get his son his own trade. And if you followed that quest, you know that the son is actually far more talented than Master Ota was. Master Ota's armor, if you side with him, is actually very poor quality. It's one of the worst breastplates in the game, actually. Versus the one the kid gives you is a lot more plain looking, but is a far better piece of armor. One of the best, actually. The game is really having issues right now. So, we'll need to go collect them and bring them back to our village. They'll be pleased to leave Sasau because there'll be less competition for them. And we'll be pleased to have them here because they'll make me more money. So we want to head south to the quarry. That'll be our first stop.
God be with you. What can I do for you?
Sir Divish has decided to rebuild Pribyslavitz, and he's entrusted me to take charge, along with his locator.
Aha, so it's you. I heard about Sir Divish's plans. What is it you need, then?
Well, we've started with the reconstruction work, but we need more than just timber.
You need stone for the construction?
Exactly. And for repairing the church.
Well now, you're really not doing things by halves, are you? The thing is, though, we're already working flat out supplying stone for the monastery construction in Sasau. I can't cut back on their supplies. Sir Divish wouldn't be at all pleased.
But I really need that stone.
Well, I suppose I could try and hire a few more quarrymen to increase production. But we can't transport it. Even Sasau sends their own wagon here. Have you got someone to carry the stone?
I've got my own merchant. He'll take care of it with his hired hands.
Splendid. So let's talk about the price.
The stone is for Sir Divish. It's for a village he wants to rebuild as quickly as possible. I doubt he'd take it well that the overseer of his own quarry is overcharging him for it.
Well, you have a point. I'll take that into account in the price.
That's better.
Excellent. We'll start sending the stone as soon as your merchant gets here. Goodbye.
Alright, so that is literally the only source of stone. Now, with a bit of speech there, you can get him down to 3,000 versus 4,000, but that is the cheapest that you'll find it, and again, the only place that you'll find it. So next, we need to source some grain, and potentially some livestock as well. So, if we refer to our map here, these little green dots are places where we can get the various materials we need. So, it looks like Sasau has grain and livestock, but I believe that is going to be the most expensive place to find either. In Samopesh is where we'll find the cheapest grain, so we should probably head there. And then I believe Ledechko is the cheapest place to find livestock, so we can head there as well. What is this now? We can get grain from Ujits. I think Ujits is better than Sasau, but worse than Samopesh. Anyways, this is closer, so we'll go there. And again, I think Ledechko is the cheapest place for livestock, so maybe we'll hit that as well. The tavern should be able to make up the cost of both of these materials, the grain and the livestock. That is, you don't need to pay over time for the stone, you just pay for it once up front. So I don't need to factor that into my upkeep costs. So, to Samopesh.
What are you doing, you murderer?
What on earth are you talking about?
Oh shit! You're all covered in her blood!
I like to get in a fight now and again, and I've got the blood to show for it. So what?
Oh, alright. 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 I suppose you're not the guilty one after all.
I'm glad you saw sense. And what exactly were you doing here anyway?
What are you getting at?
It'll be easier for you if you confess. I think I should go and report you. They'll listen to me.
You can't go flinging around accusations against honest folk. I'm going to the town to report you. You see if I don't.
Take care.
Right, okay. Well, let's see if I can catch him. I think he's guilty. He's called ruffian, after all. So, doesn't sound particularly innocent to me. Oh, come on, dude. Don't just keep running. Come on, fight him, fight him, fight him. Ah, Henry. Come on, damn it.
Come here, quick! Along!
Hit him. There we go. Oh, he's gonna get to town. No, I didn't kill her, but they're not gonna care. Henry, get your sword out. Okay, well that turned you around at least.
Yeah.
Oh god, mounted combat in this game is the worst.
Along! Somebody help!
Stop being all jerky.
Fuck's sake!
There we go. I'll shut you up. Okay. Well, he was armed. And we certainly didn't kill her. So, as far as I'm concerned, that's justice served. Let's keep heading into town. It's getting a bit late.
I'm at your service, Sir Knight.
Have you got any grain to sell?
You want it for yourself?
No, it's not for me. It's for the villagers in Pribyslavitz. They need regular supplies.
And what have you got to do with that?
Sir Divish put me in charge.
He put you in charge of hauling grain?
No, he, oh, look, it doesn't matter. Can we buy from you?
It's all the same to me. I can let you have some of the crop. How much do you need?
Well, I'll need fodder for horses, at least 10 strong animals, and wheat for the baker. He'll have to bake for the whole village.
My word. You must be a trustworthy wagoner if his lordship trusts you with a deal like that.
Yeah, that's me.
How are you going to haul it from here?
I've arranged it with a merchant who does just this kind of work.
I don't mind sending you part of our crop, but it'll cost something.
Oh, that's a reasonable price.
We'll shake on it then. Take care.
Okay, so that's the grain dealt with. Now it's getting a bit late, so I don't think we'll have time to visit Ledechko, at least not before the butcher goes to sleep, so we might just leave it at that. We've got the two things we need for the tavern, so where the hell is my horse? That's concerning. Oh, there you are. Okay. I think we'll head back to Pribyslavitz. We can sleep there, and in the morning we will get back to building. Alright, it's morning. So, let's get that tavern built, and then we can see what we want to do with the rest of our day.
What's it to be?
No, we don't have a tavern here yet. People need to wash the dust down after a hard day's work.
Very well. Come along with me. Once we're there, I'll oversee the building, so they don't botch anything.
Okay, so here is where he's standing. I don't know what exactly this means in terms of location, because I thought we had discussed putting it like here roughly. This is a well, or it was. It looks like it's not anymore. What about over here? Ooh, what's down this way? Ah, this is a well. Okay. So we got some water. Let's splash around in it a little bit. So, water there. Maybe this whole location is going to be the tavern, and we'll have like indoor and outdoor areas. I guess we'll find out. Wow, so apparently that took all day. I mean, I'm not surprised. It is a very large structure. So... okay. It did take up more or less the entire area, so there's actually several buildings that are part of this. This looks like storage. Yeah, just lots of barrels and shelves and things. And then if we come through here, we've got sort of like outdoor storage under this roof. Mostly wood, timber wood. He's our innkeeper for now, though we'll change that. I can't really see. We've just got sort of this landing area here with really nothing in it. Hopefully, I think we can change that actually, because there are various upgrades for this building, so I would wager one of them goes here. We can go through this door to a bedroom. It looks like I'm able to sleep in these. Interesting. Okay. You can sleep in any bed, but if it doesn't say sleep and save, it generally means it belongs to an NPC and they'll wake you up. But if it says sleep and save, generally that means that you can sleep there and nobody will bother you. But that's probably where the innkeeper sleeps. Or maybe that's like the rooms that you can rent. I don't know. Okay, we come in here. There's a big chest. I'll probably pick at some point just to see what's in there. More storage from the looks of it. Apparently this is where they like live. If we go up the stairs, what do we have? Just a place to kind of sit and hang out. Now that I think about it, this is probably his merchant chest, so anything he sells is likely in here, but let's find out. I'm not going to steal anything, I'm just curious. Where is it? There it is. I think this is his merchant chest, though. Yeah. Oh, he's got a book. I'll go buy it off of him. A book that we haven't read, anyway. Okay, we'll close that. Up here. Very strange entrance to a tavern. And a very small tavern at that, especially considering how large this whole structure is. I would have liked a much bigger area to kind of hang out inside, though I guess there's plenty of outdoor seating. We've got a well right in the middle. More storage over here. This is all hay. I guess this is where we're keeping all of the stuff that we just bought from Samopesh. Wait, no, we bought wheat. Just some random people sleeping. Interesting that they all have names. I guess these are just people that frequent the... He doesn't have a name. People that frequent the tavern. And you're a veteran. Interesting. And then this exits out to here. So I guess this is like the wagoner's entrance. If you have horses or whatever, you bring them in this way. Tie up your horses here. I don't know. Not my favorite so far. It's a very enclosed space. I would have liked it to be more open. So... This is where the stoned-in stuff was previously. There was that little hole in the ground here that was stoned in, and then the well that was stoned in was hereabouts. I think this whole thing could have been one big building, and then all of this should have been nice and open, or at least more of it. But, oh well. There's another exit out here. Where does this go? It looks like to potentially another building site. I'll be curious to see what goes. Actually, it looks like we're going to grow something here. Yeah, this might be like the herb garden or something. And then we've got a little path that brings us back around to the front. Well, let's peek at the ledger. I'd like to see what else we could potentially build. I should probably see how much money is left in that trunk too, because I haven't added anything in it since the original gold or groschen that we dumped in there, so no idea how much is left. 19,000, still doing pretty good. If we peek at the ledger, I think we are making money still. Actually, a decent little sum. The forge is making us better money now because we get the 500 from the forge plus the 250 from the armor smith, so 750 total. The tavern gives us another 500, and the resources that we bought were relatively cheap. The stone was just a one-time cost, and that came out of my pocket, not out of the chest. And then the grain is 80 per day. The livestock I think we can get for as low as 30, so in terms of costs, we're actually not going to incur that many more. At least not in terms of recurring costs. In terms of, you know, building costs, we still have a lot to pay. So we still need to build the rat house, the proper one, and not just this little encampment. We need to build, we can extend it and add things. So alchemy bench and an herb garden. Though that looked like it was over by the inn or the tavern. We need to repair the church, which is quite expensive at 11,000. Church basic repairs 17. So what is, okay, so these are just basic repairs, I guess. Fixing the roof to protect the building from the rain and prevent further decay. Got it. Whereas this is to actually like rebuild the thing and make it usable. We have to do the basic repairs first. The forge is done. We've got that completely. I probably won't do the bakery. I think we'll do the butcher instead. Let's see. So this is going to generate 250. I don't know if there's a baker that you can hire to work in the bakery. So I think 250 is all we'll ever get. The drying shed will give us a little bit more. And I don't know how we get honey cakes, but that gives us a little bit more as well. Versus the butcher gives us a little bit more by default. The smokehouse gives us an extra 100, and then there is a butcher we can hire. You actually hire him through a quest involved with this, not by going and finding him. There are butchers that you can hire that will give you an extra, I think, almost 200. So overall, I think the butcher is the better investment. It also makes more sense because we're out in the forest here. We're going to be, you know, hunting game left and right. Henry is the game master after all. So I don't think meat will be a problem. Versus if we went with the baker, you know, we'd have to bring in, this is from a roleplay perspective, we'd have to bring in, you know, additional grain versus the stuff that we already bought. Even though that technically already covers it. Stables, I don't think I'm going to bother with. Though they do, the stables do give you a couple of unique horses. I think I'd rather have the guardhouse. Because that makes the place a little bit more lively. You have guards walking around. And it kind of makes more sense. There's plenty of different stud farms in this area. We have Neuhoff stud, we have the MacLeod stud, and the Ujitz stud. I don't think we need more stables. Versus, this place was a bandit encampment, and there are still plenty of bandits and humans wandering the woods. Having this place keep a small garrison to protect it, I think, makes a lot of sense. Also, you get a really cool practice arena that you can fight in that gives you a lot more options than the one with Captain Bernard in Ratai. And you can build an archery range to practice your archery too. So there's some cool stuff that comes with the guardhouse. I'd also like to try to, again, customize the guards if the game will allow it. And that's pretty much it. I say pretty much, but that's a lot of stuff. But we are making a very good profit now. We were barely breaking even, just a little bit more than even before. Now we're actually turning out almost 1,000 groschen per day. So just kind of leaving it, this will eventually, you know, recoup a lot of its money for us. But I will continue to dump more money in here as needed. How much do I have on me? 47,000. And I haven't really been going out and fighting and collecting armor recently, so that's, you know, obviously going to stimulate our coffers a little bit once I start doing that again. Well, it took riding all morning, but here we finally are back in Rattay. Now we need to report in to Sir Radzig because we haven't told him how our investigation went yet. So we should probably let him know, and then we can kind of go about our business in town, which is going to include tracking down a new person to run our tavern, which we've actually met in an episode not too long ago. Adam is the son of the innkeeper from Skalitz, and so we can hire him to basically fill that role for us in our new town. I think he's up there. Yeah, I just saw him enter the upper floor of Perkstein. Excuse me. Come on, move your ass. There we go. Oh look, you guys are twins.
God be with you, Henry. Congratulations on winning the tournament. I'm proud of you.
Sir, this investigation into the Neuhof massacre, it's getting a bit complicated.
What have you found out?
I tracked down a gang of robbers who recruited killers for Pribyslavitz. They know the Horsons who torched Neuhof.
That's excellent news. Did you find out any more?
So far, not much. If I'm going to infiltrate them, I have to do what they say. That means murdering one of their former cronies, a fellow they call Pius. Apparently he was at Neuhof too.
You have to kill a criminal to prove yourself to them? Huh. I don't much like the sound of it.
That's not the worst of it. This Pius is hiding out in the monastery pretending to be a novice. I'd have to get inside the cloisters to get at him.
Good God above, that's another matter entirely. They don't let just anyone into the cloisters, and the abbot won't give up any of the novices. Secular law has no jurisdiction inside the monastery. But this is the second time that something untoward has happened there. First the counterfeiters, now this. I'd be glad to have someone take a look inside.
It seems like the only way to find Pius is to join the order. Damned if I know how, though.
A bit of meditation and learning would do you good. If it's really the only way to get to him, then you'll have to do it. I'm sorry I can't be of much help. Sadly, my relations with the monastery aren't entirely congenial. You'll have to figure something out for yourself.
What should I do with Pius once I find him?
Don't kill him. Bring him to the bailiff in Rattay. He'll interrogate the man and give him a fair trial.
It doesn't sound like an easy task, sir. Getting into the cloisters, finding Pius, and then getting him to the bailiff.
Far from it, lad. But I have confidence in your abilities. Take care.
Okay, well. Luckily, we've already found our way in. What's this now? Ah, is this Radzig's bedroom? Interesting. I'm gonna close this real quick. What sort of books do you have? Wicked Blacksmiths. I will steal that, because I don't know if we can find that anywhere else. We'll put it back when we're done. And then there's a chest here. Oh, my Thief Mastery perk did not trigger there, so I have to actually pick it. What do you got in here, Radzig? Some Groshin, some armor and stuff. Sir Radzig's hood. That's a unique item, I believe. I'm not going to steal your Groshin. I'm very curious about this hood, though. I'm also surprised that this isn't a restricted area. Though this door is normally locked, and because there's always a guard standing right here...
How are you, Henry?
Often you can't get in here. Oh, hey. Hey, Sir Hans.
I'll have a beer.
I'm not your waiter. Alright, later. So what's this hood then? I think it's probably gonna take that slot, so let's take this off. Sir Radzig's hood. Oh, okay, so it's just a red hood, but it's got his heraldry on it and a little bit of yellow trim. Interesting. I wonder why they would lock that in there. He's obviously never gonna wear it. And it's something that would be cool to sort of have when you are first getting into his garrison. I'm gonna move that over to my horse. But that's a cool item to have.
How are you?
Adam, listen. You're a friendly fella, and you know a thing or two about the tavern trade. How would you like to be my innkeeper?
What? Me? Innkeeper?
I've got a tavern in Pribyslavitz. Sir Divish put me in charge of building new homes there, but who wants to live in a village without an alehouse? And someone's got to run it.
Well, Henry, I've always wanted to save a bit of coin and open my own tavern. To continue the family tradition, like Pa and Bianca. And now you come to me with this offer.
I know. That's exactly why I came to you.
Thank you. And you can count on me to keep the place full to bursting. See you later.
Okay, so we've got a new innkeeper. He'll head over there and run our tavern for us. I don't know what happens to the other guy. I think he just kind of hangs out there. But he'll bring us in. I'll have to check and see what amount of coin these guys actually generate. But it's generally close to or a little bit over 100 per character that you bring in. So he's going to give us a nice little boost in income and probably get us, if not to the 1,000 groschen per day mark, pretty close. Now then, while hanging out in the inn area here, tavern area, whatever, I did hear somebody talking about the executioner having a bit of trouble. So let's head over there and talk to him. And that, I think, will be the last thing we do today. Whatever, little activity he sends us on, not just speaking to him.
Do you know there's a girl crying on your doorstep?
I executed her husband.
What? You killed him?
No, not like that. It was done lawfully. She knew he had it coming.
So then, why...
Folk would like to drive her out of town. She has no one here. For a while, I thought I could take care of her, but it wasn't to be.
Why?
Do you really have to ask? I can't even go to the tavern for company, and no one would sup their ale with me. And when I die, they'll probably push me into a hole with a stick so as not to touch my corpse.
Is it really that bad?
I'm not complaining, mind. It's a well-paid job, if you don't mind being a pariah. They might look sideways at you, too, just for talking to me.
And that's what she's afraid of?
Exactly.
Doesn't that crying girl have any kin?
None she knows of, poor lass. You could help her, though, if you wanted.
Me? How?
Elishka has no family, but her husband might still have some kin. Nobody will talk to me, but you could find out more.
How can I find out if there's any family?
Try asking Elishka herself. She knows a thing or two about them. But, in the end, you'll still have to go and find out something from the bailiff, or from the records at the rat house.
Why do you want to find her family anyway? Don't you want her to stay here?
I do. She's a splendid woman, but I'd never want to keep her here against her will. The life I lead isn't for everyone.
What would she have to put up with if she stayed with you?
A lot. I can't deny. Most of the townfolk wouldn't give her the time of day, at least not in public. If we had children, it would be even worse for them.
That doesn't sound like a very happy life.
It's not all bad. It's a well-paid job and even respected in a way. And when someone needs a bone set, all of a sudden they forget your reputation.
All right. I'll see what I can do.
My thanks, if only for the thought.
Okay, let's go talk to this crying woman and see what is going on.
Herman sent me.
What a way to end up.
Don't despair. It could be a lot worse.
Only death could be worse, and I'm not far from it.
Can I ask about your family?
What do you want to know?
Don't you have any kin left? Someone who'd take you in?
No. They all died of the plague. And then I ended up with that man of mine. I always knew he'd get strung up one day.
Didn't your husband have any kin?
Maybe. He mentioned some, but we never went to see them.
Is that all you know?
Yes. But if they're anything like my old man, the bailiff and his catchpoles will know about them.
That's all I need.
Okay, well, it sounds like we need to head back into town and do a little bit more investigative work. I thought we'd have a break today from that, but no. Looks like Henry is back on the case.
Do you know Elishka? The wife of the man who was hanged recently?
The one that's with the executioner now?
That's her.
Life can be cruel sometimes.
Right. And do you know if she has kinfolk somewhere around?
How should I know? Now, if you don't mind, I'm very busy.
If Elishka stays with the executioner, it'll end up being your problem anyway.
Christ, oh, all right then. Tell the scribe.
Thank you. Is it possible to find out from the records where someone lives?
You think we keep records of every serf? For Christ's sake, they breed like rabbits.
But I thought that in the rat house, though, in the books...
Boy, the books are for recording pacts, undertakings, punishments, property rights, and so forth. In other words, important things. We don't keep records of serfs.
Elishka won't be happy about that.
Elishka? You don't mean the one who married into the Mishek family?
Yes. Yes, you know her.
Why wouldn't I? I used to play dice with old Mishek years ago. He had a son, a nice polite lad. How is he?
Oh, you know, he's quite tied up these days.
Well, if you see him, tell him to swing by.
And where are the Misheks living now?
A stone's throw from Rate by the small fish pond.
Thanks.
Alright, here we are at the spot. So this is, I want to say, like, southeast of Ratai. So the city's, like, over the horizon that way. You might be able to see it if I go far enough this way. Yeah, you can see the walls vaguely in the distance there. So we've come out east along a small stream, and it looks like she is the person we need to talk to.
What is it now?
I've got information about your daughter-in-law.
Elishka's fine, only she needs...
Never heard of her. Get lost.
She's your nearest kin. Elishka's part of your family, and she really needs you...
I won't help anyone.
Listen, you old hag. If you interrupt me one more time...
Fuck off!
Right, well that went well. I don't know that there's really any reason to have her come here. Now, we could try to bribe this lady.
I could make it worth your while.
Really? And what is it you want?
Your son's widow needs help. She has nowhere to go.
What do I care about some useless girl?
Oh, to hell with it then.
My humble greetings. How may I help you?
You're not crying now?
I'm not. I've wept enough for a lifetime.
It's a bit of a change since my last visit.
I haven't had much luck in my life, but I've always worked things out in the end. Tears are no help to anything.
That's true.
So, did you find out something about them?
I did. I found your husband's father and mother, and they're willing to take you in.
But...
They're not very nice people, Elishka. They probably work you to the bone. But you would get fed.
Life is never easy. But at least I'd have a family.
You're right. I'll have another talk with Herman. Elishka's looking better.
She is, but she's not happy. God sent the poor girl great trials.
Indeed.
Did you know her whole family was wiped out by the plague? She was barely 12.
Losing your family isn't easy.
Ah, sorry, I wasn't thinking. So, did you find out anything about that kin of hers?
I have. I tracked them down. They say they'd take her in, but I'm not sure she'd do well there.
Leave that to her. I just hope she'll be better off than now.
I've heard the way you talk about her, and, would you like Elishka to stay?
You know, Hal, She was always the sweetest girl. When she came with her family to Radzig, still single, she was a sight to behold. And it might surprise you, but she even had a word or two for me now and again. It grieved me when she married that wastrel. It was a foolish idea, but I always thought maybe she and I could... Well, fate likes a good laugh. Now I've strung up her old man. I have her under my roof. After all the years I was thinking of her. I don't want her to leave, but I don't want her to be unhappy here either.
Have you made your mind up?
I can't decide. I don't know Mishik's kin at all, but at least I'd have a family.
Herman could give you a family too.
He's a decent, upright fellow. I've met none better, and that's the honest truth. But he's an executioner.
And what's the problem? That the other women won't chat with you down at the creek? Did that sort of gossip ever interest you anyway? He's a fine man, isn't he? He's willing to take care of you, and he has the means to do it. And he wants you. He's so sick with love for you, he can't even sleep.
But did he really say that?
He told me he's been in love with you for years. He said he always thought you were the sweetest girl in Radzig.
It's true. We used to meet now and again and exchange a few words. Well, he always treated me nicely. By all that's holy, you're right. I'll stay here. God be with you. Herman?
Yes?
Can I stay here with you?
You mean for good?
If you don't want me to.
You can! By God, you can! You've made me the happiest man in the world.
God, just talk your shit out. Why do I have to mediate all this? Anyway, that's that quest complete. He does have at least one other quest for us at some point, but we're not going to worry about that now. I don't think he will give it to us straight away anyways, so we'll check back in later. Oh, I guess you got the door. But that was so unnecessary. You guys could have just talked. I didn't need to go running all over the fiefdom just to find out that you wanted to stay. They could both use a bath too. Henry's looking a little bit dirty too, but not nearly as filthy as they are. Anyways, I think that's where we'll leave it for today. Now, I don't think we're going to jump straight back to the main quest right away. Why am I walking on foot? Where's my horse? I don't think we're going to go straight back to the main quest. Oh, there you are. Next episode. I think instead we'll try to tie up a few more loose ends before we go spend a couple nights, maybe a week in the monastery. And then after we complete the, little monastery gig, we'll take another short break. I don't know how much other stuff we'll have left at that point because we are getting very close to the end, if not like to the end. This is essentially the last chapter of the game, and we've done a lot of side quests. I know that Fritz and Matthew still have some stuff for us, and there are a few activities I've skipped over just because they were inconvenient, so we'll have to check in and do those as well. But next episode, I guess let me know. Do you guys want to see a few more side quests before we go do the monastery stuff, or would you rather see the monastery straight away? Let me know in the comments below, please, and based on that, I will hold off recording the next episode, and then when I get feedback from you guys, I'll decide what I want to do. So, thank you so much for watching. I had a great time playing some Kingdom Come Deliverance with you, and I look forward to seeing you guys back here for the next episode.